And now, introducing the new SneakyG Man store on SD. All you got to do, go on to SD, type in SneakyG Man store, and you could get your very own Are You My Malacca shirt, Samsung cell phone case, or just a cap or a beanie. Let's go Giants. Ow. Hey guys, I appreciate you wanting to enjoy the show. First, I got to give a couple shout outs. First off, I want to give a shout out to dresscomfy.com. She has the latest and greatest for SneakyG Man merch. So please, check it out. dresscomfy.com. Also want to give a shout out to 3 a.m. Water Hydration for the go-getters. Natural spring water. Go get it. Now let's go do the damn thing. Before we do the damn thing, I got to give a shout out to George's Trophies, aka Sergeant M Replica Trophies. Guys, Father's Day coming up soon. This is the perfect gift. Matter of fact, this is the perfect gift for any occasion. I mean, who wouldn't want a replica Super Bowl trophy of their team? The team that got the ultimate prize, the Lombardi Trophy. So when you get a chance, go to his Facebook page, George's Trophies, a.k.a. Sergeant M's Replica Trophies. Now, we gonna do the damn thing.
You're listening to Make It Count, the SneakyG podcast on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. SneakyG.
Yeah. Lyrical assassin.
Let's go, Giants! Ow! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. SneakyG. What is going on, everybody? Hope y'all are doing good today. Well, of course, we're going to talk about, the Eagles, Christmas Day. That's why the title is, Will We Have a Very Merry Christmas? ? So I got somebody waiting in the cut right now. Alex, I see you. I got you. Thank you on the short notice joining the show. This guy is brave. He made a bold I don't know. You had a bold statement on Twitter, and I'm like, I gotta bring him on. I gotta pick his brain. I agree with the majority of what he was saying, but I am not going to put words in his mouth. Hold on a second, Alex. Before I bring you on, I want to give you a proper. Hold on a second. You go by Big Blue in the Bronx. You're going to have to say your last name, but for now, I'm going to say Alex G. Everybody, let's bring him on. What is up, man?
What is up, SneakyG? Thank you for the invite. This is much appreciated, my man.
Yo, on a short notice, I saw your tweet this morning, and hold on a second. I do apologize. So I'm starting. Okay, I'm hoping that people on Instagram can see me. Instagram, because I'm not seeing it. I'm StreamYard has allowed, you could go live on Instagram as well. And yeah, I'm not we'll see how it works out in the end. Anyway, oh yeah, you guys can't see me. Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Erica in the clutch. There we go. They can see us on Instagram, so we can't screw this up. Okay, Alex, one shot, one kill. Here we go. Okay, so I saw your tweet this morning. Okay, I was gonna record it and put it on, and then I was like, I said to myself, I said, no, because I love the organicness of a live show. I do owe you an apology. I should have gave you the link sooner, so we could have got done with this in the backstage. Okay, farting around with Instagram. That's kind of what took me a minute. But anyway, so if we can, let's pretend you have your glasses on and you're apologizing for the reflection of the glass. What were you saying about the draft picks? And I also tagged. I wanted Ant to come in here too. Gabe, if you're here too, please chime in. I wanted this to be a good debate hour, or what's a 2-hour show, but a good debate time, about our beloved Giants. Now, before I get started, Alex, I have to know, who is your all-time favorite Giant?
I'd have to honestly, I'd have to go Eli Manning.
Okay, that's respectable. Mine is Phil Simms. Phil Simms is my guy. Number 11 himself. Gotta love him. Okay. The mic is yours. What was your tweet? And go ahead.
So I want to make it clear because I'm not. I'll say this right now. I don't pay for Twitter. I don't want to pay for Twitter because it gives you 2 minutes and 20 seconds to clarify all your points, and that's what I wanted to do. That's why
we got 2 hours, so take your time.
Yeah, of course. There's not necessarily 2 minute 20-second time limit here, but I saw a lot of these, and I will open up by saying this: for the past 4 years, maybe even 5 technically, I have been one of the biggest DJ loyalists on the planet. Now, would I admit when he would do wrong? Of course, but you're talking to someone who didn't like the pick at first, was very content with the extension. I have a shirt of his. So you're not talking to somebody who's like totally hated DJ for 4 years. I've been there with him. I've rooted for him. And, SneakyG, it's interesting that I have to make that clarification because, and I'm not personally hurt by any of this. This is just debate stuff. People have a bias. People have a different type of think. But I have to clarify that because some people think, no, you hate Daniel Jones. You've hated Daniel Jones for so many years. It's not true.
Right.
My thought behind my process behind the thought is I see a lot of these people, right? And you know what? The thing I didn't clarify in the video because of the time limit is I would be good with a second round quarterback. If Jane Daniels falls, they like their guy in the second, whether it's Michael Penix, who's personally one of my favorites, go ahead, take your guy. I'm also saying, don't force the regime to take a quarterback just because they need to take a quarterback, because that's obviously bad. But I think this is one of the more talented classes that we've seen in years.
Mm-hmm.
And, going around to that point, I saw a lot of people just say, no, we need to take an edge in round one. And people doing all these different debates. Like, why would we take edge when the offense has been the main issue for so many years? And you're not, and I look at it this way, SneakyG. You have 0 quarterbacks, and now they are capable. All 3 are capable, but you have 0 quarterbacks. You have 1 dominant edge rusher. 1 is greater than 0. And this is a quarterback-heavy draft. And I also asked the people who have conducted research on these edges, are they going to be better than Kayvon Thibodeau? And even just overall, it's like, if they're not going to be better than Kayvon, and if they're going to be on the opposite side, why are you taking them in round 1 when you still have a wide receiver need? And this, you got like 2 guys, maybe even 3, that are top 10 eligible in terms of, the top 10 picks in the draft. You got O-line, which is still an issue. Now you don't take guard in the first round. You do take tackle and then quarterback. And then also trading down if you want to. So, and just like, I've seen it, I've been through it, all the excuses for Daniel Jones. And listen, I don't think all of what happened in his career is his fault. I think the Giants have done him a lot of injustice.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there are so many inconsistencies in his play. There's so many times that he's gotten hurt. And there's so many times where if he has a good situation, or at least a good enough situation, he can't beat the Eagles. Can't beat the Cowboys.
Can't beat the Cowboys. Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I get it. Like, people are bringing up the trenches. The trenches is a big reason why the Giants are falling behind the rivals, but at the same time, quarterback is as well. Because Sneaky G, the Washington Commanders don't have a perfect offensive line, but Sam Howell has at least competed with the Cowboys more. Also, the Eagles. Like he's competed with the Eagles a little bit more. I don't remember the last time Daniel Jones actually he doesn't beat good defenses. Like, he barely beat good defenses. The inconsistencies with people's points are like, yeah, he dealt with a crappy wide receiver core. Okay, so he obviously, the Colts game was a good game for him. The Vikings game was a good game for him. With the crappy wide receivers and the crappy O line. Okay, so you want to make that point? What did he do with that same exact core against the Eagles, the Cowboys, some of these other teams in football?
Well, and don't forget, like if we're talking about last year, we did tie with the Commanders one game last year.
True.
Okay, we didn't sweep. Now, my only pushback, and if you're watching this, I sent you the link to come on because I wanted to be a part of this. And Gabe, again, if you're here, please let me know. The only pushback that I basically agree with everything you said. Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, you gave it when we met up in person at that. I think it was the Giants Eagles game about 2 years ago. I think you gave me one of these, so I'm like, you know what? Why
That's right. That's right. It was it the Giants? That's you know what? That was my first game at MetLife.
Really?
Yes, that was my first game ever. The years, I mean, I've been a Giants fan so many years. That was my first game at MetLife. Oh, okay. I appreciate you wearing that, man. Thank you so much. Dress comfy, latest and greatest for SneakyG Man merch. The only pushback that I have for you is Bobby Wagner. Not Bobby Wagner. Bobby
Johnson.
Bobby Johnson. A lot of people, and I, maybe that's just the sentimentalness of me. Okay. Because you were talking about in your tweet, which I thought it was perfect. I mean, it was late. I don't know. I give a shout out to Authentic, shout out to Vibes. I mean, they gave you props, and I know why they did, because what you said made sense. Basically, everything you're saying, a lot of Giants are saying. Now, the edge rusher, I heard, but it wasn't really pushed more so than the quarterback debate. My thing is, and help me with this.
Okay.
My argument is this. Okay, let's say we do get a quarterback, and it's going to keep Jones on his heels. Okay, we're not addressing the offensive line. I mean, that's going to be that to me. That's more of an issue than the quarterback, because let's look at the three that we have. Right, Jones got hurt. Why did he get hurt? Lack of protection. Tyrod got hurt. Why did Tyrod got hurt? He was running for his life. And then with the Saints game, we saw Tommy get, I don't know if he got knocked out or he just, whatever the case may be, now granted, 3 games prior to the Saints, Tommy made that line look like a Pro Bowl type offense, right? No, didn't give up any sacks, running around or lack of running around or making plays with his feet, if you will. Although we did get sacked 7 times with the Saints. But it was pretty much the same personnel. My argument is this: we got to fix the offensive line, because I was at the Saints game. We got exposed. I don't understand why we couldn't block when they were stunting. I don't get that. So if we were to get, I know a lot of people is on the Caleb train, or the quarterback from Oregon, or even Daniels, right? If we don't address the line, it's going to be Daniel Jones 2.0. So just help me understand, where I'm wrong with that assessment.
I don't think you are in a lot, but here's what I'll say.
Okay.
And I'll start out with this. I started recognizing the flaws with Bobby Johnson last year. When he came out.
And let me push back. I'm sorry. I can't, again, it's the compassion part of me that don't want to fire someone, and what I'm saying, it could either be coaching. It could either be, I forgot what the train of thought, and then it just got back to me. I apologize for interrupting. It could be the coaching. It could be the players' lack of execution, or it could be the scheme, or it could be all three. That's what I wanted to point out when I got on my soapbox. Okay, now go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so definitely all three of those are issues. I think that I'll start with Bobby Johnson. Last year, I pointed out that this guy is I'm not a fan. You kind of saw that, and I think Giants fans ignored it when he left Buffalo. A lot of Buffalo fans, and Buffalo was content with letting him go, which kind of is a little shady. So you move to week 7. Week 7, it was week 6, right? Week 6. So Evan Neal starts getting into vertical passing sets, and he plays a little bit better. Like probably one of his best games of the season. And these are not against like scrubs. You're going up against Odafe Away and Justin Houston, who are reputable players. And he played well. Like he didn't play perfect, but he played well. And Dan Duggan asked him around that time, I think it was after that game, in one of those practice pressers, right? He asks him, he was doing vertical passing sets and he was doing really well. And why aren't you guys sticking to this? Bobby Johnson responded, and I'm paraphrasing, SneakyG. I'm paraphrasing with the scheme. He basically said the scheme is more important than the players. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but if you guys want to check it out, I'm pretty sure the Giants have the press conference stuff. And I kind of told people, I said, I'm not a fan of this guy. And then people was like, no. He said nothing wrong. I'm like, okay, do what you want. Do what you want. To this day, this dude has some superior, I don't even know how to say it, but he has just this attitude of, I know everything more than everybody else, and my unit is doing great. No, your unit is not doing great. It's actually the worst in the league historically and statistically. Like the Giants have been sacked over 70 times. That's bad. And, the continuing with that in the press conference is just the fact that Evan Neal never consistently got better down the stretch. He struggled in Minnesota. He struggled against the Eagles, all these different teams, right? Not to mention, you make that transition into this year. JMS, totally different thing. I mean, I'm going to give him the rookie excuse. Marcus McKeithen, he came off an ACL last year. I watched him consistently until he was benched, not get his hands on the opposing defensive lineman. I watched Josh Azudu since last year not get his hands on the opposing defensive lineman. Now, that's maybe a UNC problem, but in 2 years, how do you not recognize that that's an issue? And then your point, you were at the New Orleans Saints game. How many stunts did they fail to pick up? And let me say this, SneakyG, right? You could make your picks, your individual analysis on all these offensive linemen we have individually. This is the most consistent unit we've had all season of Thomas, Pugh, JMS, Bredesen, and Phillips. In that regard, most consistent, you think they would actually be good at run blocking. They've been garbage. And their pass protection was an anomaly against Green Bay. I was at that game. They pass protected pretty well, but Tommy DeVito did save them sometimes. And it's no doubt that Tommy DeVito has horrible pocket presence outside of one game, but the offensive line's terrible. And here's why I'll stretch that into what I said about the draft. I'm not opposing taking an offensive lineman, but it's how you do it in the situation. And I'm not saying you're saying this. There's a lot of people on Twitter that are saying this. They're saying, we can't take a quarterback because he's going to be Daniel Jones 2.0 and the same situation. Like, first of all, the Giants' offensive line is not giving up 70 sacks next year. This is the bottom. This is where, we go up from there to how much we don't know. You can sit here and say all this stuff about, Daniel Jones, if he doesn't have an offensive line. How about you can use that same argument when you're talking about bringing a guy like Joe Alt, Graham Barton, or Olu Fashanu in here, and Bobby Johnson is still the coach and they don't get developed properly. You can kind of use that same argument. And I'll tell you this.
And that when you said that, it made sense, because no matter what you do, you bring in you do bring in some new offensive linemen. But and for argument's sake, we'll say Bobby is the problem. The root or the foundation is still going to be there, to where it's not going to make much of a change if that were to happen. Now I want to bring in Gabe, and Gabe is going to basically say the same thing that you said. Are you there, Gabe?
Yeah, what's up?
So did you hear what Alex said?
Yeah, he was spitting facts. Like Bobby Johnson really thinks he's him. He's not him. His unit is terrible. Like, and I know a lot of people don't watch the coordinator pressers. I do. And the way he talks about his unit, you would think they may be top 10 in the NFL at offensive line. Just the way he talks about it, it's like nothing's wrong. It's like it is the best unit, and it's just like, dude, your unit sucks. Like, it literally sucks. And our reporters suck at asking questions. They are terrible at asking questions. I mean, it is actually poverty how bad our beat reporters are. It's actually sad. I can't believe it.
So you were also now. I want to also talk a little bit about the edgers. You were talking about the edgers. I'm kind of surprised that everybody that people have mentioned the edgers. Gabe, in our past episodes, have we talked about that we needed another edge? I don't remember because
Okay,
we have
so,
Thibodeau and we have Simmons.
It would be valuable for the Giants to get another edge rusher, but the idea that people want it in the first round is a bit ridiculous. Okay, I think we have 2 second-round picks this year. Those are going to be really valuable, right? Those are really going to be where Joe Shane has to make the right pick. He obviously, you have to make the right pick in round 1, but if they end up in the top 10, they're taking quarterback. That's really where I stand now.
Well, no, what I'm saying, like, have we ever discussed that in our show?
No, we haven't. We haven't, not here. We haven't talked about, but
Okay.
it's been a discussion. That's like, it's been a discussion like on Twitter, basically, or X. Sorry, it's called X now.
So Alex, what in your post you're talking about a quarterback? What quarterback do you think would best suit and for the record, I normally don't talk about the draft until after the season, but I got to give you props, man. Your post kind of initiated this conversation. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'll touch on the quarterbacks, but about the edges that you guys were talking about, I actually think that edge is a need. But like Gabe said, that can be assessed in the second round. And you can assess guard in the second round because I think that's a need. Left and right guard. And people forget that where you make your bones as a GM is in the later rounds, right? Do we forget that our second linebacker is a 5th round pick? I mean, that's just, and our slot corner is a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, but he sucks. Cordell Flight looks lost out there recently.
He's not very good in zone coverage.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I might want to try out Nick McLeod in the slot, but that's a whole different conversation. But I do actually think that edge is in need for the Giants, but I don't think that second, 3rd round, and I hate to say that, but there are more pressing needs. As for the quarterback position, and I'll say this because I've gotten a lot of this on my recent arguments because the thread is still going, but I haven't answered it. People have talked to me, you said that all these quarterbacks are better than Daniel Jones. I'm like, if you disagree with me, okay. Right? But in my honest opinion, some of these quarterbacks coming out have better traits and they have better talent, have more talent than Daniel Jones, than he was coming out, right? I look at a guy, one of my favorite guys, he's probably he's the guy I watch the most. The problem is he's injured a lot. Is Michael Penix from Washington.
Yeah, nope. I do not want to touch him. I don't even want to get close.
Hold on, Gabe. Let's let him finish. Let's let him finish his justification as to Penix.
Of course. But I think Gabe's going the injury route. And listen, I don't mind that, but I got like 3 other guys that I've watched Caleb. The concern I do have with him is, the turnovers, the playing against the big teams. Also, at the same time, handling of the media, which could, kind of chip in against him. But he's got the talent. He's definitely got the talent. And if he fixes some stuff there, a lot of people see Drake. I have not watched a ton of Drake May. A lot of people see him as a Dable scheme fit. And Jaden Daniels is a duo threat quarterback. Those are the 4 guys that I would personally take within the first 2 rounds. Haven't watched McCarthy. Haven't watched Bo Nix. So I can't really, make a justification on them, but those are my 4 personally. And I feel that those 4, Penix, maybe you could say iffy, but the first 3 definitely, in my personal opinion, have more talent than Daniel Jones.
Now, the problem with that, and I'm like you, although I didn't have a jersey. The only quarterback jersey I have is Phil Simms. I don't even have an Eli Manning jersey. That's just the type of.
I literally bought a Daniel Jones jersey this past year, and it may be the worst purchase I've ever made a day in my life.
Well, okay, so
I really bought into
hold
the
on.
idea.
Let me just say this about Daniel and Gabe. You've heard it a bajillion times.
Here we go.
The owner said it himself. We destroyed this man as much as anybody could.
Well,
I mean,
let's give him a chance to go somewhere else and potentially.
He had 15. Well, and I'm going to get on that too. He had out of his 5 years, 6 or 7 offensive. No, 6 offensive coordinators. 3 head coaches. There was no consistency whatsoever. And of course, the offensive line issues. Look, we've been having issues with the offensive line since Gilbride left. Well, that's when we've been having issues with the offensive line. And I've said this on the show multiple times. Okay, after next year, we move on from Jones. We go our separate ways. If Belichick is still in the Patriots, he'll pick him up. And then he'll win, 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, Belichick is out of New England after this year. He's not staying there.
I know that's a hypothetical, but at the time, I would say that. I would say that on numerous occasions. Remember, I said the same thing about Evan. What's his name? Evan.
Neal.
No, not Evan Neal. Evan Ingram. I knew he was going to be an all-star tight end.
Doing well.
But exactly. I knew he would be a big name tight end, and here he is balling out on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Evan Ingram's a case of he needed a change of scenery. I mean, we basically ran him out of this town, if we're being honest.
Well, it was because that drop in Philly.
Well, yeah, it was really bad.
Didn't pan over.
Okay, so back to quarterbacks, because
Yeah, go ahead. It's your turn. Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
I really would like a quarterback. So Penix, here's my issue with Penix. The New York Giants and injuries do not get along. We tried to put ourselves in a fantasy that Darren Waller wasn't going to get hurt, and look how that worked out. So that's my thing. And hasn't he torn his ACL like 3 times in college alone or something? Someone told me that, like 2, maybe it was 2 times, something like that. More than once though, he tore his ACL in college. So, and he's also, I think he's like 25. I think he's like almost as old as Tommy DeVito. I'm pretty sure. So that's my problem with Penix. Jaden Daniels out of LSU, he's like, I think would be gold for Brian Dable. I think Brian Dable would have some fun with him. Same with Drake May. I think really Joe Shane likes Drake May the most. I mean, you can kind of see where he spent the most time was Drake May. Like when he was on the road, on Saturdays, he would be they had someone at UNC games every week, and Joe Shane, I believe, was there like 3 times too. So it was heavy Drake May fandom in the Giants building. But listen, I think we've seen the best Daniel Jones will ever see in a Giants uniform, and that was, of course, with our luck going into the contract year. And I think the Giants just have to move on. I think he could be good somewhere else. I will tell you, if someone gives him the right offense around him, I think he can be successful somewhere else. I do. I really do. I don't think it's going to work out here. We need a total rebuild. Joe Shane and Brian Dable need to get their guy that they can say, you can't fire me because I have a rookie quarterback. That's what really that's what they need. That's what they need. If they want to keep their job after 2024, they're going to need something to hold on to, and a rookie quarterback is a great thing to hold on to. Believe me, it is a great way to be like, we have this.
We can't. I mean, up until next year, Jones is going to be.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones is just going to be
because that's like $70 million of dead cap space.
Yeah, well, Daniel Jones is just going to be a really expensive backup next year. That's really what I've come down to. I mean, I think he'll start out the year. If I'm being honest, I think he'll start out the year, but it'll be one of those. Where
he's not. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be. He's out for like 8 to 10 months. So it's gonna be
No,
it's gonna be
he's
a
gonna be
minute
back
for
for
his
training
recovery.
camp. He says he's gonna be back for training camp.
So I want to give I need to jump back to some of these comments.
Oh yeah, we go.
John, shout out. Yes, the Giants need
Goals right
protection up front, but they also do not have the answer for quarterback on their roster. Robin Vaughn, I appreciate you, brother. Besides pass protection, some new guys on the O line that can also block to help open holes for Barkley to be able to run further than 2 yards per carry.
Yeah,
That's showing in the Saints. I knew the Saints had a decent defense. Yeah, I was surprised. No, they got a better than decent defense.
they don't. It's not their defense that's the problem. It's their offense that's
Here
just
we go. We got
terrible. And we made the
Alex,
Saints
Alex, and
defense.
Going on, boss.
So,
also Tanya, shout out. Appreciate the love. My concern, Sneaky, is DJ gets hurt again. No one will want to touch that contract, and we will eat too much money to get out of it. Well, luckily for us, it's a Shane, a pro Shane contract. So after 2 years, they'll drop him. I mean, I think the money drops to like 21 million after next year. We can opt out and move on. Let's say if we fix the O line, do we feel like DJ has the confidence to be the guy we need him to be?
No.
Guys, okay, that's a very good question because last year was a really good year. Okay. We won a playoff game, but the games that stuck out to me, we beat Green Bay, we beat Baltimore. Of course, who would forget the missed field goal against the Titans? But Alex, again, to your point, and even Ant has said this, we got swept by the Cowboys and we got swept by Philly. If we don't fix that, we're not going anywhere.
Everybody knows that the main goal is to win your division. Because if you win your division, you're guaranteeing yourself a playoff spot. And then where it goes from there is on you.
Home playoff spot at that.
Depends on
home game.
Depends on how you're seeded.
Well, no, all 4 division champs get a home game. The second seed gets 2 home games, and of course, the number 1 seed home field throughout.
But I mean, I know he's going to be back next year because there's no way he's not. But I mean, honestly, I'm done with the DJ talk, dude.
I am too.
I'm over it. He's going into year number 6. He had 1 good year, and Giants fans are going to hate when I say this, and they're going to call me a non-Giants fan. Last year, in my opinion, was a fluke. It was one of those seasons where the games that we probably, I know we didn't, but games we probably should have lost, we had stuff go our way a lot last year. Finally, don't get me wrong, because we've been eating the crow for years now. So we finally had a little taste of it. But I think last year we way overachieved. Like, again, going into last year, my hopes were to be 500 or just over 500. I just wanted to take the steps forward. And then we took a leap. It's a little suspect. And then this year is kind of proven what we had all thought. So in other words, like, if last year our record and our season would have been like this year, then we'd be looking at it going, well, we're winning some games. And then next year looked like last year, then it'd be a different spot because your team is progressing. Our team, again, took a jump and then fell backwards.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to see that. We're tired of seeing that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun.
So,
but when I can sit here and say that the highlight of my season this year is when Tommy DeVito came in because he sparked some kind of excitement. I mean, it's with the exception of the draft and then, opening day, or week 1, there really hasn't been too much excitement.
Yeah, week 1 was horrible.
So
After.
now, and then I want to ask you guys this. Well, first off, I gotta say this. The last time we've had back-to-back winning seasons was 2011 and 2012. That was 10 years ago. And I don't want to say that too. I don't want any Cowboy fans to hear me say that because they'll remind us of that.
We don't have to worry about Chris because he's a Giants fan this week.
Right. This week he's a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Now, Alex, I'll let since you're the special guest, first time on the show today. What do you think went wrong? I mean, something had to have went wrong. And Ant, don't say the moment after DJ signed that contract. Don't say that.
I wouldn't say that.
I know. I was joking, by the way. I was being facetious. Alex, what do you think went wrong this season where there was a regression with Daniel Jones? And of course, I'll give my 2 cents after everybody goes.
Yeah, so the Giants, I would say kind of like 2016-ish, they kind of thought that they could run it back. I think that's one of the biggest things. I know it's revisionist history. It's all 2020 hindsight and all the other stuff. You look last year, right? They had some nice, strategic, but simple concepts for Daniel Jones in the playbook. Look what happened in the Eagles game, and look what happened in the first game of the season. The whole entire NFL keyed in on that. I think this team, once that false start happened by Andrew Thomas, now it's not his fault that the season's over. Obviously, his injury played a part, but the team couldn't recover emotionally because it was bad penalty, bad snap, and then you have the missed field goal that was ran back for a touchdown. So this team was never, yeah. So this team was never able to mentally recover.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
What I will say also as well is they were okay with this offensive line, and we all were, because we were expecting things, and those expectations never came to fruition. Evan Neal taking a leap. You wanted, Ben Bredesen to be solid. You wanted Glowinski to be solid. You want JMS is a whole different story. You wanted Josh Azudu. You wanted some type of jump from the offensive line, and you never got it. That's one thing. I think the wide receiver core has little to do with the issues, but also I'm not saying we don't need a wide receiver. The fact that Darren Waller obviously hasn't been a part of it, his injuries, that's a big one. Coaching is definitely part of it. That's one of the big ones. And I mean, there's a lot of issues, but I feel like I'm forgetting some, but those are the main ones. They figured out that the concepts were really simple, strategic, good, but simple. They didn't build off of those in the offseason. They didn't restructure the offensive line. They came in with a bunch of unknowns. Injuries obviously have hit this team hard. And I will say this to kind of wrap up my points. Let's just say the Giants don't draft a quarterback. If you're Joe Shane, how much of the fan base do you think you're selling on competing next year with same guys, run it back, and DJ coming off of a torn ACL? How much of the fan base are you actually selling?
Gabe, what point do you think this season went south?
For me, it really all started in the summer. I felt that, and this includes Brian Dable, this includes Joe Shane, this includes the captains, they were cocky. I really do. I think they felt cocky. I think they went into the summer with the idea that, well, we did it all last year, so we can just repeat that. And I think, I was at training camp. I'm sure, Alex, I'm sure you were at training camp. It looked like they were running your in-season practices. That's what it looked like. No contact, no nothing. I mean, it looked like a country club practice basically out there is what it looked like. And then you have, Sterling Shepard saying Brian Dable was talking about a Super Bowl, like there was a lot of stuff that was going on that you could just see, like, there were signs. I'm saying basically is there were signs this summer that it was not that they thought they had it all basically, and that was concerning to me. But I was trusting in Dable. I was trusting he knew what he was doing. He was giving a lot of rest days out to players constantly because we didn't want to get players hurt. And then look at all these hamstring injuries we have. I think that's part of it. I think that we didn't ramp these players up. Training camp is about ramping players up, getting them back into the game. And there was no ramping up because every other day is a rest day for Darren Waller, who hamstrings are as flexible as rubber bands. So that was one thing that that was another thing that I saw that was like, why does Darren Waller have a rest day every other day? Like, that's not how a football game is going to be once we get to the season. And what does he do the first week of the season? He comes on the injury report with a quad. So it's just like it was a very lazy ran training camp, and then they get their butts kicked. I mean, their absolute butts kicked on Sunday Night Football in front of the whole world watching, thinking this is like the brand new Giants. The Giants are coming off a good season. Brian Dable's in charge, and they didn't even look like they knew what they were doing out there. And I think that's because they never acclimated these guys to all the hitting, all the preparation that goes into a season in training camp. And I think it was just disaster that night. And then I think they never got momentum. I really think that's the problem. I just think they never got a good momentum going.
So, Ant, at what point do you believe the season went downhill?
So, week 1 was horrible. We all know that. But week 1's horrible for everybody. Week 1 is like, you know what I mean? Like week 1, week 2, and sometimes even week 3 is more of a feel it out kind of thing. So I would say by week 3 is when I started getting aggravated. Because again, like,
Now let's not forget week 2 was when they had that magical comeback, in the second half against the Cardinals. Let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, with the exception of that second half, I mean, tell me in the first half, none of us were thinking, here we go again. All right. Because we've been doing that for with the exception of last year, we've been doing that the last, 7, 8, 9 years. So that's the thing I'm getting tired of saying. Here we go again. Here we go again. Why can't we listen again at this point, at this moment, with what we're dealing with again this year? I'd be happy going 8 and 9. I'd be happy going 9 and 8. You know what I mean? Like, the problem is we're expecting to make this jump. And again, last year did not help that. We're expecting to make this jump to an instant playoff team year after year after year. Yet this dates back to when Eli was still playing. We still can't get the offensive line right. And people are talking about draft. As far as I'm concerned, I think we have the pieces out of the draft so far. I really believe Evan Neal needs to see what he can do at guard, but that's up to the Giants to decide. But I think what we need now is a solid veteran presence. 1 or 2 veterans that can, hold the fort down. Don't get me wrong. I was excited when Justin Pugh came along, but again, it's another situation where you're just filling in spots to try and make something work. That's the problem. Do I think Daniel Jones would be better with a solid line? Yeah, I think anybody would be better with a solid line. Right. My thing is you get a lot of Giants fans that want to say, well, look at Joe Burrow. Well, look at, Lamar Jackson doesn't have the greatest line, and this guy doesn't have the greatest line. That's true. But our quarterback isn't Joe Burrow. Our quarterback isn't Pat Mahomes. Our quarterback isn't Lamar Jackson. I said this last week, and I've been saying this since Tommy DeVito's been our quarterback. If you take Tommy DeVito's brain and put it in Daniel Jones's head, in my opinion, we have the prototypical quarterback. My issue is that Daniel Jones, the one thing that he lacks, other than the confidence, because he's constantly picking himself off the ground, is the instinct. He doesn't have the instinct.
Right.
Tommy DeVito has it. He doesn't need plays drawn out for him to run. Like, obviously they make plays for quarterbacks that, run with the ball. But he knows when it's time to tuck the ball. He knows when it's time to throw away the ball. And he knows when it's time to run the ball. Get out of that pocket. Try and make something out of nothing. Daniel Jones has to be coached to do that. In other words, plays have to be set for him to do that. It's not instinctual for him. And I think that's what kills him. That's what gets him hurt. Now, granted, the ACL issue and all that was a fluke accident. I mean, non-contact. It's kind of, you can't put that on him. But again, he doesn't put himself in good positions because and it sucks so bad to say, because as a quarterback, he's trying to do everything and anything he can to either A, motivate the team, give the team a spark, or try to win games. People fail to understand that one of my favorite players in the NFL, period, of all time, Brett Favre. Brett Favre is the leader of interceptions, but nobody talks about that because of how exciting he was, how instinctual he was, how he won a Super Bowl, how he's always been to the playoffs. You know what I mean? But nobody talks about that because he, on the reverse side of it, made smarter plays that ended up sparking his team, that ended up getting the extra down. But again, he had a crap ton of freaking interceptions.
For me, I'm sorry, who's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, so for me, it's kind of a mixed bag because I thought I saw the downfall in the Dallas game. And when they showed it in the picture of, Daniel Jones's face with the pedals, the metal, the plastic pedals, and he had that lost look, like he, kind of like an Eli look. And they showed it on Sunday night. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. This is not going to be pretty. And then, of course, moving fast forward, where we basically went 6 quarters without even a field goal. But then the second half, I had my hopes up because, we came back. Okay, being down 20-0, we come back and beat the Cardinals 38-0 in an away game. Okay. But we were penalized by that win, by the loss of Saquon at the very end of that game. Now, we all know we didn't stand a chance against San Francisco, and we definitely didn't stand a chance against San Francisco without Saquon. And for me, the when I knew it was going to be, I don't want to say a down season, I will say a long season, was how we got beat by the Seahawks. To me, that was the game that kind of told me everything I needed to know about. What was it? We got sacked, 11 times?
Yeah, that was the game that we were supposed to let everybody know that, okay, we're
back
off the rust. Yeah, we shaking off the rust, and we're going to start pushing now. I was at Monday night.
We were even. I remember that. Yeah, we were. I mean, we were even. Even I think Saquon came back, if I'm not mistaken, that game.
I think so. Yeah.
Was he out or was he still there?
No, I think he was. I think it was still Breida and Co. But just to add in.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. After that pick 6, Jones started taking sacks like crazy.
Yeah.
For me, it was the Seahawks game.
Yeah.
It was, and I want to say before the pick 6. Didn't we have a fumble or something? Was it Jones? Did Jones fumble in that game?
No, I think it was a kick return or fumble. Crap, who was it?
Well, I don't think of Richie James. I mean, that was
no. It was
Was it Eric Gray?
Yeah.
Was it Gray that fumble? Oh yeah, it was Gray that fumbled. Yeah,
it was.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I don't mean to bring back painful memory, guys, but for me, it was that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You had something to say, Alex?
No, I was just saying the season's been painful, so it's not like you can't really pick one out. I mean, some are more painful than the others, but
Speaking of Saquon Barkley, by the way, what an interesting quote from Buddy in this press conference today. He goes, "Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of Eric Gray on Monday." I was like, "Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, the future. We're going to be seeing a lot of Eric Gray, apparently, according to Saquon Barkley." Seems a little upset about it, actually.
I think the Giants. Honestly, because I watched the Senior Bowl, and we'll be down there this year covering it. But yeah, but last year I was watching the Senior Bowl, and I was talking to my buddies on the panel. I'm like, who was this running back that he just looks slow? That running back was Eric Gray, and I'm like, when people were in the preseason, like I had different people trying to convince me, yeah, he doesn't have straight line speed, but he's got speed, right? I mean, I still have yet to see that. I still think the Giants are trying to justify to pick him. And I've been saying it since Gary Brightwell was drafted. The Giants need another running back. They need someone other than Saquon. Like, enough of these veteran backups. They need somebody in that room. And I don't think they're going to get it. I mean, I would like to see more of Eric Gray because Breed is not going to be here next year. But, I mean.
I love Brightwell. I think he was underutilized for what he could have been. He was a big back who could have pounded the ball,
and he could catch in the backfield. He can catch in the backfield.
Yeah.
He has hands. Yeah.
I think he was underutilized, underused. And again, so the thing with Eric Gray was, and I watched some of his college career, some of it. Again, he wasn't fast. He's definitely not a north-south runner. He was more of an agile back where he can shake tackles off. And that's what made him so, I guess, likable. But again, when they drafted him, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. They were trying to shore up just in case Saquon didn't come back, that whole thing. But I thought there were still better options out there for running back when they took Gray.
Wait, what round did we take Gray?
Fifth.
Fifth round.
Fifth round? Okay.
I mean,
speaking of Senior Bowl, you know who was great at the Senior Bowl last year? Puka Nacua. I would have loved to get him. He would have been great.
And this is so hindsight, but I'm just making a point. Keaton Mitchell went undrafted. Now he tore his ACL, but he went undrafted. I'm just gonna same draft class as Eric Gray, but just saying.
I mean, we also got to consider the Ford Wheaton injury too. I mean, they were holding on to hopes that he could have been one of our big receivers this year.
By the way, I love Sterling Shepard, but what is he doing on our roster at this point?
He's a cheerleader, dude. He's a cheerleader.
Sentimental.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I kid you not, I was having a conversation with one of my friends in the car. We were on the way to the Green Bay game. He goes, what is Sterling Shepard doing on this roster? He's a cheerleader. He's a good guy. But the Giants need to stop with this sentimental stuff. Yeah, keep doing sentimental stuff and win 6 games every year.
Like, seriously, we are making Paris Campbell on healthy scratch because of Sterling Shepard. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, Paris Campbell was doing great in the kick return game, and now he's inactive because we want to give Sterling Shepard a game day uniform. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Wait, is that the talk now or what?
That's essentially what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't start him because, they didn't start Campbell because they wanted Shep to play.
They completely made Campbell inactive, like not even getting a uniform, not even like suited up on the sideline because they feel bad if they take away a game day uniform from Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, I mean, let's be completely honest. I mean, not that Paris Campbell's been any sort of a saint this year, but I think he's got a better skill set at this point in his career, plus kick returning, than Sterling Shepard does.
Yeah, Paris Campbell was looking electric in the kick return game. I don't think people realize. I mean, he was looking fun. I was kind of enjoying watching New York Giants special teams for once when he was out there kick return. And then it's like this idea that we think Sterling Shepard will be offended if we don't give him a game day uniform. Well,
but we also don't we have that one gentleman is it number 80? I think he wears.
Yeah, but he's a punt returner. He's not a kick returner.
Yeah,
right.
I think he's now the kick returner because they put a Shepard active and Paris Campbell inactive.
Well, thing is this too. I mean, if you want to look at the monetary aspect of it, they bring in Paris Campbell. They paid. He didn't get paid, but he got paid a good amount, and they barely played a dude.
Yeah.
Like, get that. They want to talk about saving money and fixing what Gettleman did. I mean, that's a Gettleman move. If you're gonna pay a guy,
Well, and
gotta
they
pay him.
are saving money by not playing him because a lot of his contract was incentives. Like,
But he did get some guaranteed money though.
he got like 2.5 guaranteed, but a lot of it was incentives.
So Tanya
Not
said,
like on addition, like the 2.5 was guaranteed, but then there were a bunch of incentives to get him, like just like I think it was
Okay.
like
so Tanya said, Sneaky, I think we're going to, I think there are going to be some moves this offseason that we don't like. I do hope we keep Saquon.
All right, I get what you, Gabe, about
I honestly don't think Saquon's going anywhere.
I get what you're saying about the incentives, but what good are incentives if you're not playing the guy? It's a waste of money. Let me tell you, Sterling Shepard's a waste of money, and what we're doing with Paris Campbell now is a waste of money.
I agree. I don't disagree. It's
Right.
true.
So that money that could have been used elsewhere to possibly do something else, like, sign. And again, you got to look at what the Giants have been doing the last 2 years. There's a whole hell of a lot of 1-year contracts. So they're trying to get rid of some of this money. They're trying to fill in spots to make it work somewhat. There definitely is a plan in place.
Yeah.
The problem is the guys were putting in spots. For instance, the offensive line, they're doing nothing but getting our players hurt. And then the guys that we're paying that were supposed to come in and make somewhat of an impact, they're not playing at all. But they're playing a guy who's sentimentally, in the past few years might have been good without the injuries. But I don't know. It just, to me, it's confusing as hell. And it's done nothing for us. I mean, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you can't expect different results. You just can't.
So what I'm looking here is that Shep is only on a 1 year.
Yeah, Shep's gone after this year.
$1.3 million contract. And then
Paris, I just looked up Paris Campbell, and okay, here's the exact wording of the deal. He signed a 1-year contract worth $4.7 million in base value with $2 million available through incentives. Paris Campbell received $1.5 million signing bonus and up to $1.7 million in per game roster bonuses. So he's missing that per game. I'm pretty sure he's missing that per game roster bonus right now because he's not on the game day roster. And then it was only 2.9. Well, not only, but it was 2.9 guaranteed at signing.
But again, you're taking a guy that I believe could have a bigger impact than Sterling Shepard, and you're wasting that money.
Wait, is it a 4-year deal?
No. Campbell's a 1-year deal.
Okay.
I thought Campbell was a 2-year deal.
Nope, 1 year.
2 years. Slayton was 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's right. And they've done nothing this year either.
Yeah. Well, Slayton's actually leading the team in receiving, so we can have that again.
Do we have to go into the mediocre debate again? Where
I think Slayton is mediocre. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Where, like I've been saying with the whole Saquon, if you got a subpar team and you have one guy that's mediocre, but on that subpar team looks like an all pro. Does that make him an all pro? No. So saying that Slayton's the leading receiver kind of doesn't mean much.
Well, I mean, it's kind of sad because he's been our leading receiver for like 4 years.
So I'm going to bring up 2 points real quick. And Alex, don't read into this at all. Dallas Cowboy Chris says Giants for life. He's a Giants fan apparently, and he went to his Facebook post and also said, "Let's go Giants." Now we kind of touched on coaching a little bit with Bobby Johnson.
He sucks.
But Tanya has a good question here. Do you think Wink stays with the Giants next year?
He better.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate like bordering on the question because I really don't know right now. I hope so. there's two things, right? Maybe even three, and I know that I'm going on for my separate tangent. There's three things, in my personal opinion, that Brian Dable's got to do in the offseason. He's got to fire Bobby Johnson and bring in somebody good. They're not going to. I would love Mike Munchak, but it's not happening. Number two, fire Thomas McGahee. Our special team sucks. Number three, keep Wink. I think Wink is the biggest X factor because you never sit here and hear about, oh yeah, Gunnar Olszewski said in a press conference how he loves playing for Thomas McGahee. Oh yeah,
Yep.
Sterling Shepard, or said person on offense, says he loves playing for Mike Kafka. No, all these guys on the defense, even before this whole this whole drama came out, have repeatedly said they love playing for Wink. The only one who hasn't is Xavier McKinney, and I don't know why.
Right.
Well, that's
Well,
because
it's his
Xavier
contract year.
Just,
Yeah, he's
His
still
contract
under.
year. I personally, I hope we keep Wink. I really do.
I mean, if you think about it, defense has
I
been
don't-
the highlight of our year.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think Wink is the problem. I think the overall problem is that we're not winning.
Yeah.
And when you're not winning and you're dealing with a bunch of competitor alpha males, tempers are going to flare, conversations are going to go stray, and comments that would normally be joking comments would be taken more seriously now, only because we're 5-9 right now.
It's the epitome
And
of family.
exactly. And
the
again,
other thing
if what Dable says is true and they were arguing over pizza, I want to know if there was pepperoni, not pepper. I want to know if there was pineapple on it. Because if there's pineapple on it, they need to pick their poison a little differently.
Not pizza.
The other thing with Wink though is like we built this defense around like Wink Martindale. Like Bobby Okereke is a Wink Martindale linebacker. Like that's what Wink wants in his linebacker. Cordell Flott plays man coverage like Wink wants. Deontay Banks plays man coverage like Wink wants. Did we see how bad our corners were in zone coverage this past weekend? That's because
trash. Oh my god.
that's because they're meant to play man coverage. They're not meant to play zone coverage. That's why.
This is how bad Adoree Jackson is. I'd rather have James Bradbury back.
Okay. All right.
I'm not even kidding, dude.
I'll take Nick McLeod.
Yeah, I like Nick McLeod. I don't know why he doesn't play more. I was kind of excited about him going into this year. I'm not gonna lie. I was riding the Nick McLeod train going into this year. I was all about it. I just
I'm gonna bring
know.
I'm gonna bring Daryl in, and I'm gonna step out for a second.
Getting rid of Wink Martindale does not seem like the solution to our problems. I mean, it just seems like it would cause more problems than good. Honestly, that's really how it.
Let me tell you something. Two things. Number one, we're going to talk about the defense right now. Number one, I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, our defense has been pretty good this year. And
holy cow! Oh my god! Hold up! Ant just commented. Oh my gosh! Ant just said a good thing about the New York Giants. Oh my gosh! He really did.
Hold on. Well, I got another thing. thing. If my boy can stay healthy, my boy's back.
Who
am I talking about, Gabe?
Oh no, not Aziz.
Huh?
Not Aziz.
Aziz, baby.
Your boy was on the injury report the game after he had that good game.
I know. Busting chops here. But it's the same thing we've always said. When he's healthy, he's a difference maker. When he's not, which is 90% of the time, he's just not.
It's exactly like Darren Waller.
The one thing I would love to see the Giants do, and I think he could have a bigger role with the team. They're trying to fit him in. Is Isaiah Simmons? I want him back.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give him like a cheap deal, basically, in the offseason.
That's if he takes it, because I think he could get a deal from someone else. I think
what really
built to be a top linebacker. But you know what? It's funny because I could see him playing the what's his name, Reddick from the Eagles. I could see him playing that type of end/linebacker. It's got to be implemented within the defense.
Speaking of the Eagles, their defense is terrible. I mean, honestly, like it is awful how bad their defense. They
They're-
let
they're-
Drew.
Man, they're wearing down.
Awful because they lost the two main ingredients to their franchise, their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. That's
Yeah.
why they suck.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I thought they were like not frauds, but oh my gosh, their defense was horrible on whatever. What did they play Monday night? Was that when they played?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was watching it and I was going like, could you imagine if Tommy DeVito just chopped up this? I'm just I haven't stopped.
They also lost their starting linebacker in free agency, TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
Didn't they lose like two of their linebackers in free agency? Wasn't there another one or
They
no?
also lost Hargrave too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
To the-
That's-
to-
Okay, here we
Old,
here we
but
go.
it's 15.
Stop
But
the
the
cap,
big-
Chris.
was
Stop
the
the cap.
biggest loss was the defensive coordinator. That's why their defense sucks so bad now this year.
Yeah, they
And,
ran that guy out of town too. That's the funny part about it.
Well, the
They
guy that's
wanted.
him isn't much better. Matt Patricia's horrible.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. When I saw that, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me! How
Yeah, I thought
desperate?
too.
How desperate are they?"
What I don't understand is how can you take a title from a coach without taking the title away from a coach? I mean, you're still a defensive coordinator, but you're not calling the plays.
Yeah, that was just PR. I mean, they basically took the title away from him.
And
I mean-
I don't think it's. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about Philly right now, and I just got back from using the restroom. I don't think it's the defensive fault. The problem is the Philadelphia Eagles have always been playing like less than perfect football, but just somehow winning the games. And the
Yeah.
last three teams just exposed them.
It goes
That's all
back
that
to
I think.
so right,
Back to the beginning of the season, when everybody was like, Jalen Hurts just doesn't look like himself. That's because, again, he's been playing hurt since preseason. He's been playing hurt, and it's finally up to him, and he's getting tired, and he's everybody's pointing fingers, and
He also
that's
he
how
also
fall.
looks lost. He just looks lost. I mean,
No,
seriously.
Jalen Hurts, he's never been one of my favorite quarterbacks. I don't understand the stone cold type emotion he shows on a constant basis. I wonder if he's the type of quarterback when he makes an error, he says, "My bad." I hope he's not the type of quarterback that he said, "How come you didn't catch that ball that I threw over your head?" You know what I
I
mean?
think he's the second one because I think he literally said in the presser the other day in his presser that like his
Team under the bus.
he threw his
we-
team completely.
We lack the team lacks commitment.
Yeah,
Well,
not
they-
with
Didn't you throw a pick? Didn't you?
Yeah.
And wasn't Chase right in front of you to where you could at least got something?
Well, think
mean-
about this, gentlemen. Think about this. Nick Saban took him out of the national championship for a reason because I think Nick Saban thinks that Jalen Hurts couldn't have won him that national title. That's why he put two in.
There's some truth
But you
to
know
that.
what, too, though? Nick Saban's famous for doing that with all his quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Not really. Not really.
But there
All
wasn't nothing wrong with Jalen Hurts. Now you got to remember. Now he pulled on. He was healthy enough to win that national championship game.
I don't remember Saban really pulling any quarterbacks out of an. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. Please. But that's the only one that stands out where Jalen just wasn't getting it done.
Because the only reason why I said that is because what the conversation that we were having as y'all was talking about it, that's what just made me think of it. What do you think about that there, Alex?
As far as the Jalen Hurts situation goes, I don't think he's elite. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think you take his pieces away from him. I think he's still good in that facet. I do think there is definitely something wrong with him because he's not playing well and up to par. But I mean, we have to be honest about one thing. I get it. Yeah, he's not played like particularly well. He's given AJ Brown the best year of his career.
That's true.
What, this year?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
AJ
I
Brown.
thought last year he had a better year.
I think
Yeah.
he's got like 1,400 yards, something like that. Let me take a look.
Real talk, Wink Martindale, please, for the love of all things, I can't believe I'm even going to watch this Giants game on Christmas Day. But please, for the love of my eyes, just don't try to play your zone coverage. You don't like. I'd rather watch Adoree get burnt in man coverage than watch him get absolutely destroyed in zone coverage. Like,
I mean, but
it is.
that's the question. Can we cover them?
Yes, we're meant. We
Man to
have the
man.
personnel to cover 1-on-1. We suck at zone coverage. We can somewhat manage in man coverage.
I mean,
Like,
you got to double. You got to double Brown. I mean,
We
there's
play
he's just too
man,
strong.
though. We play better man, though.
We do.
we play, yeah, we are meant to play man. We don't play zone, and then we try to play zone, and it looks horrible because we never play zone.
I
It's
think
like,
that's. I personally, if you want my honest opinion, by the way, AJ Brown is about. He had 1496 last year. He had 1314. He has 1314 this year. If you want my honest opinion, this is not me being a Wink stan. I personally think that that's either him trying to get on Dable's good side or Dable intervenes. You take a look at
I think it has to do with Dable because I seriously like. Do you see?
Dave,
like,
let him finish. Let Alex finish his thought. Go ahead,
Well,
Alex.
he was kind of contributing to my point. Is like you look at the defenses in Buffalo under Leslie Frazier and Dable was there. Those were zone defenses. Those were not man defenses,
Mhm.
and those were like laid back zone defenses. Leslie Frazier did not blitz a lot. Wink is the polar opposite of Leslie Frazier, and whether he's trying to get on his good side. Personally, me, if I was Wink, I wouldn't want to get on his good side and play zone. I would just stick to man and go forward because if I was Wink in that situation, I would say, look, if he doesn't want to have me here, it's a lose-lose situation for him because at the same time, he wants me to play zone and all this. But if I leave, I know I'm getting a job elsewhere, and I know the players are going to sit here and pout because I left. But no, I think it's a Dable impact.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, and I'm gonna give you a little challenge on that, Alex. Dable knew what he was getting when Wink was there, or when he hired Wink on his staff. So to say that he's trying to get on Dable's good side, I don't know if that's the case. Maybe Wink did or Dable did say, "Hey, how about we run some zone schemes a little more?" Because in that Saints game, we rarely blitzed.
10%. 10%.
That was
What?
awful. Awful.
I don't understand. And the time that we did blitz, I think that's the one time we got the sack.
The
Yeah.
thing that made me think during that game, the thing that made me think that Dable was tampering a little bit was the fact that usually you make some kind of adjustments. I saw no adjustments
I
whatsoever.
didn't see any adjustments at
None.
all.
There was nothing.
I honestly thought the second half was when we were going to take over. I really did.
Sneaky, you
I
always.
thought-
You
Well,
always.
I mean, yeah, because I'm that positive type of guy, but no, but I'm serious because we came back as a different team against the Patriots and the same against the Packers. And
I'll
I
give
thought
you
that,
I'm giving you the Patriots.
huh?
I'll give you the Packers. I'm not giving you the Patriots.
Oh yeah, we sucked against the Patriots. Wasn't the final score like 10-7 or something?
Yeah, but we still won. That's he missed the field goal in that one.
Oh, that was
All I'm saying is, I really thought that we were going to make the adjustments and come back a whole different team
So did I.
against the Saints, and it just didn't happen. It did not just happen.
Yeah.
Hold on. So Tanya says maybe that was the argument. Like what you were saying up. What you were signing up with me. I've been consistent focus on our O-line and play caller. And so I was watching one of the videos that Talking Giants made, and they kind of did it where they were trying to distinguish who was making the calls offensively.
Oh, Justin Pennick, yeah.
And I mean, I've been saying Dable has been making the calls since that 40-0 debacle against the Cowboys. I mean,
I don't ever think, not in any game this year, that it's been one or the other. I think that it's been a mixture of Kafka will call a play, Dable will, do whatever and not like the play, maybe change it up a little bit, and then Kafka goes back in with it. I think it's a mixture of, especially now, Kafka being like, all right, well, what do you want to do? And then Dable will be like, all right, well, what do you think we should do? Now it's like they don't want to take the blame for having a bad offense. But who do you blame? You blame the coach and the coordinator.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's ever clicked with those two. The way that everybody had blown up the fact that Wink and Dable got into it should have been the way the way Dable and Kafka got into it, but you didn't hear none of that.
That's
So
because Kafka doesn't. I don't think Kafka really strikes me as someone that could get into it. I think he's very calm usually.
Did you see him with the Chiefs?
Mike Kafka. I didn't watch him with the Chiefs. I don't like.
Why
Yeah,
did he argue? What?
He wasn't, not that he was arguing, but he was definitely a spark kind of guy. When I look at him up in the booth, I kind of see him holding back a little bit. I kind of see him like being more reserved because it's almost like he doesn't want to get scolded by Brian. I mean, it's funny, but that's the feeling I'm getting when it comes to that.
We all know
Alex,
that.
you want to
Man.
add to that?
No, I was about to essentially just bring up the point that Ant did, that he's in the booth and there's like no player interaction, where Wink is like, he's down there, he's just with the players, and overall where Kafka's in the booth, he can't necessarily get the player's mindset and all that sort of stuff. It's got to be communicated through either Shea Tierney, the offensive assistants, or even Brian Dable. But I mean, also, I guess to more Ant's point as well, is maybe Dable doesn't want to have like someone, for instance, like thinking differently than him on the same sideline, like kind of contrasting and challenging his offensive ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
The other thing is like, I haven't seen Dable with a play sheet since that Arizona game. I really think like the idea he was calling plays was like a one game thing. Because like in the Arizona game, he had the play sheet over the headset, like it looked like he was calling plays, but he hasn't like looked that obvious as if he was calling plays since that Arizona game. So I think he might have done it once like then, but I don't think he's done it since then. And I think maybe it's more of like, all right, Kafka, we're going to run this play. And then Kafka calls it into Daniel Jones. Tommy DeVito. Forgot about that. Like, I think it's more of like Dable telling Kafka what play to call, and then Kafka calls it. Like, it's like very reciting type of thing. That's kind of what it sounds like.
Do we have a score of the game?
Wait, what did you say?
No,
yeah,
that's the case. Then as the offensive coordinator, I'd be totally pissed off.
Well, the other thing you have to take into account is it's not Kafka's offense. It's Brian Dable's offense Kafka is calling. Like it's not like Kafka came in here with the KC offense. It is definitely Brian Dable's offense that he's running. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I mean, if you think about it, we're not running Brian Dable's offense either. We're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, we're still running the very basics of the
What's up, Wes? Hope you're doing good. So Wes got a good question. He said, did anyone ever think that Wink called out Dable because defense is stepping out, but stepping up, but the defense isn't? No, I don't think he would ever do that.
I don't think he did that, but I did realize something Bobby Okereke said after the New Orleans game was something like, you can't expect the defense to win you every game or something like that. Like he said something. It was very like, oh, okay. It was like, I think it was like about like, oh, well, we can't be expected to carry like us to win every week or something like that. It was ridiculous.
And he's not wrong.
That he's not wrong, but it was like shade thrown kind of.
No, absolutely. And a lot of these players will do that to try and get a spark out of the opposite side.
Yeah.
If anybody's wondering, the Rams are beating the Saints 27-7. The same Derek Carr that sliced us up last Sunday. I was there. I saw every bit of it.
How do you get sliced up by Derek?
And and that's what I don't. Okay, look, I'm gonna vent right now, and Alex, Daryl, I want your input because I haven't been picking on you too much, Daryl. How the fuck did we? I'm sorry, I'm cussing because I'm a little upset. All we had to do was put just minimal pressure on Derek Carr. Minimal pressure. Okay.
Fluster him.
Now let me tell you how bad it. While I'm sitting in the stands before the game, okay, I got Saints fans telling me I'm decked out, Giants head to toe, even with the socks. Okay, y'all gonna beat us today. Derek Carr sucks. That's exactly what they're telling me. Matter of fact, I had someone tell me, "Can you tell Dexter to take Carr out?" Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, they were done with him before.
And they were talking that the whole first half. But I mean, after he threw his first touchdown pass, and then the second half he threw another one, then the talking stopped, and then they started cheering him on.
You would have thought at the beginning of that game they wanted Jameson Winston to play.
They
Actually,
did.
they were happy when Tyson Hill was in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't understand I don't understand the game plan of not putting too much pressure on a Carr when I know the rap sheet has to say I haven't been watching the Thursday night game obviously because of this show, but I wonder if Carr's already throwing a pick.
He has. I believe.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure it was because of pressure. And he was being hurried in the pocket.
100%.
So, okay, I'm off my soapbox. Daryl, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm at a loss for words right now. I don't know why Wink didn't pressure the quarterback too much that game.
Well, I mean, just with anything in general. I mean, shoot, just give me something to be happy about right now. Because yeah, it's just
you want to get happy.
We ain't the worst team in the NFL. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
That we need to. You already know what we need to focus on. Sneaky. You know what? You know what my issue is. Everybody knows what my issue is.
Say it again.
The O-line.
Yeah.
That's the only issue that I have. And okay, one thing I can't say about the defense is I think they're just out there too much.
Okay. Yeah.
They're out there too much, and not okay. And another thing that I'm thinking about now that I'm got my brain running, maybe Wink thought that he was gonna get pressure with the front four. Maybe he felt like he was gonna get pressure without blitzing. And he didn't want to get burnt.
Yeah, but still, you got to.
No,
make
Alvin Kamara is good. And boy,
yeah, but I mean,
you give him a wheel route or a screen pass, and he's gone.
right.
He's been doing that since he was at Tennessee. So I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to get burnt. But right now, my main focus right now is working on our O-line and because I believe we could compete with anybody if we can get a halfway decent O-line.
Robbie got a good question here. How do we show up against Green Bay but fall asleep mid-game against the Saints? Damn.
The energy just wasn't there against the Saints that was there against the Packers. There was no energy.
We looked dead. We really did during the Saints game. We looked real dead.
You do.
Alex, you got something to say?
Yeah. I will make you guys realize this, and then you'll be like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Did you realize that the first two first downs the Giants got were from penalties?
Mm-hmm.
Roughing the punter, whatever the second penalty was.
Was it the personal foul
yeah.
that they were like booing about? Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another one later in the game where I think it was The hit
A
to the
pass.
head of Daniel Bellinger, even though it wasn't a hit to the head, and they
Yeah,
called 15 yards.
That's the one I'm talking about. That was
Yeah.
the one I was talking about.
And then
Yeah.
there was like several times the Giants got saved and still didn't do anything. I didn't think the energy was there, but just like as a
Yeah.
defensive coordinator, as a coach, how do you not blitz and obliterate Derek Carr with blitzes? We had the personnel in the defensive backfield to cover their guys. What pissed me off to no end is not just the not blitzing, but the fact that our middle of the field was constantly wide open for Jawan Johnson, Lynn Bolden, Rashid Shaheed, and
Yep.
Jimmy Graham ended up getting a touchdown. That was
Yep.
like, dude, this is like the classic Giants football of letting a bunch of nobodies beat us.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was definitely screaming at the TV about that in the second half. I'm like, why are these guys so open? And it's not like, they broke off. They're like 2-3 yards, away from a defender. They were like 5-7 yards away from these defenders, and there's like nobody around them. And I'm still oh God, I am so sick of the non-tackles. I am sick of it. Wrap somebody up, for God's sakes. I can't stand. You see guys get an extra 4 to 5 yards because the defender decided to bump him with his shoulder, thinking he was going to go down. Like, these athletes are as big as you, if not bigger, as strong as you, if not stronger. What makes you think that a little shoulder shove is going to get these guys down? It's ridiculous the way nobody tackles anymore.
I want to throw something out there, and it just kind of hit me. When we drafted Thomas, I was okay with the pick, right? I was okay with the pick. I think we lost Gabe. I wanted Isaiah Simmons. Okay.
Yeah, so did I.
And now we got him. Has he been an impact player, in your opinion? In your guys' opinion?
When he's in, he is. I think he's great in the defensive coverage. I think he definitely has the speed to be a pass rusher. I just don't think they're utilizing him the way they should be.
Hell, he's the only one on the team right now on defense that looks like he can tackle.
I'll tell you what, man. You put him on one side and Bobby Okereke on the other side. I think these guys could be legit, like big time legit.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Simmons was the one that got the sack, right?
Jason Pinnock.
Pinnock
Oh,
got it.
Pinnock got the sack. That's right. The safety blitz.
He's off and on. I like Jason Pinnock, but he's off and on.
It's not that
about him the rest of the game.
They just don't. They don't blitz him enough. I think he would be a wonderful blitzer coming off the outside, on the edge, from the corner, from the safety slot.
Well, the other thing, I think that has a lot to do with. I think that has a lot to do with Wink's system, because Wink is famous for not showing the same scheme, the same players. So he utilizes each player in all different positions. So maybe you have the same play and you got Xavier McKinney blitzing, but later on it's the same play, but it's on the other side and you got Pinnock blitzing. And that's one of the things I think that Wink does better than any other defensive coordinator in the league, is the way he changes schemes during the game. And again, this is why it's mind blowing that we didn't change anything up in that second half against the Saints. Is you took away Wink's, his profession, what makes him good.
And I know it's kind of getting in between your aunt. I just got to say this: Thibodeau is quietly getting 12 sacks, like quietly. Everybody wants to talk about Parsons
game last week.
Everybody wants to talk about, but like just quietly getting double digits in sacks this year. But Alex, you did want to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Tibbs has been on and off a little bit, but I think recently he's gotten better playing against and having more of an impact against some of these teams, because at the beginning of the year, you didn't see him playing the run as well as he does now. You didn't see him drawing holding penalties as much as he does now. So, I mean, that's definitely an improvement of his. I forgot what I was going to go off before. But as far as the linebacker stuff, I mean, I think the Giants are a little bit scared, to be honest, to kind of release Isaiah Simmons and put him in more snaps. Not to mention they think Micah McFadden's playing well. I think he's playing fine, but he does have his hiccups here and there. the notion that the Isaiah Simmons plays really well on third down is obviously it's there. It's absolutely
Yeah.
true because they always play him back or they play him close to the line or he's sitting there making a third down tackle and the Giants are receiving a punt. So
Right.
I don't think it's overstated that Isaiah Simmons has been an impact player for this team. I think that was I just don't know if he could actually be like a legitimate pass rusher because I don't know how much he's worked on his moves. I mean, as a blitzer, yeah, and obviously if you show that up the middle, defense is going to obviously match up against it.
Right.
But as far as like a pure pass rusher, I don't know if Isaiah Simmons can be that. But I do think the Giants should retain him in the offseason.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I got to say this about Banks. I mean, maybe he didn't show too much against the Saints, but damn, that was a perfect play in the Packers with that tip ball. That was just that, and also the one that Pinnock got. That was really close for it being a touchdown. But just some two outstanding plays that our guys made.
Yeah, I think I gotta think that Banks is up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I mean, yeah, if this team was winning, you would
Yeah,
definitely get more votes. But my thing is this, right? I've been talking about this for a few weeks. The Giants are not bringing back Adoree Jackson next year.
No.
What's their plan at number one corner? And if they do have Banks as number one corner next year, I would start playing him against wide receiver ones.
I thought he already is.
I haven't really seen it, to be honest, because I mean,
because he was up against the number one for Seattle.
Number one for Seattle. I mean,
yeah, he was. Him and Metcalf was battling.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember if he was 1-on-1 with CD. I don't remember that.
I mean, everybody got burned in that second Dallas game.
Yeah,
so I can't really.
Yeah, I think now that I think about it, that Seattle game. DK is going to get his place. He definitely is.
Yeah.
But I don't think DK had any explosive plays that game. I think Banks held him.
Well, he did get a touchdown.
What's that?
Are you talking about Metcalf?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get a touchdown.
I don't think Banks was playing him that down though. I think Adoree was.
It might have been Adoree or some type of zone coverage.
No, I want to say it was Banks. I want to say because but it was tight coverage. It was like a perfect play that Banks got scored on. He did cover him, but it was really tight. It was really tight.
But I mean, just like, and it's not just Deontay Banks. I think there's got to be an overall evaluation period these next three games. Jordan Riley is the backup defensive lineman. DJ Davidson. I mentioned Eric Gray earlier. Something that like I've been picking at for a while now, and I don't think they have enough trust in him. Dane Belton. I don't think they have enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they have enough trust in him because Xavier McKinney is a free agent as far as we know next year. They haven't signed him to an extension. And what's your plan going in at safety? I mean, you drafted Dane Belton in the fourth round, and he barely gets any snaps.
I think the Giants are really hung up on oh crap, I just had his name. Robinson. Because I think he's been hurt all year. I think he's had an injury, but I want to say within the last couple of weeks, there have been talks about him coming back before the end of the season, and that the coaches were really high on him. But again, he's another one of those guys that's almost hurt all the time. I mean, when he plays, he's really aggressive, and I think that makes him a wink type player. But
plays man to man really well.
Yeah. And he's aggressive. He'll knock you in the next week. And that's one of the things I like about him. But it's just like, are they counting on him to be the number 2?
I think they're out on him, personally, me.
Yeah.
But let me say this right now. If he was in training camp fully healthy, I think he'd be the slot corner right now.
I mean, he is physical.
Yeah.
He is a physical guy.
Why he got so many penalties against him his rookie season.
Yeah. But was it his hamstring or did he? What is it? His Achilles?
I think it was like a leg injury because he had an injury against the Titans, came back against the Bears, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah. I don't think that thing healed right. Bears game probably made it worse.
I'm going to go ahead and bring on a couple more people. Hold on. Lloyd,
Hello.
how you doing?
Good.
Welcome to the show. You've been on before, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Who's your favorite team?
Giants.
And
Mm-hmm.
are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?
I was thinking this. Pull them up.
Okay.
But I guess we got to give them a chance.
I guess so.
Have your finger on the dump button.
Oh, it's on the trigger, baby.
Hit me.
So, Alex, just so you know, and Lloyd, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I could be wrong, but I am ready to remove you from the studio because I think.
Mudo 2.0.
What's up?
Mudo 2.0.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
It's nothing against you till it is, but we've had incidences on here where it wasn't good and it kind of wrecked the show a little bit, and you guys get.
Oh, it never wrecks the show.
Well, for
it actually makes it entertaining.
The show goes on.
Yeah.
Huh?
The show goes on.
It does. It does.
I ain't gonna say anything.
Okay, and that's good. That's good. All right. So
I'm just
who's
trying
your
to
favorite
talk some
Giant? What do you say? I'm sorry.
I said I was just trying to talk some football. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. What do you want to talk about? Like, so who's your favorite Giant?
My all timer right now.
Both.
What's that all time?
All time. That'd be Eli Manning, or probably like I like Odell just because.
Okay. Danny, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here, bro. What's up,
How
guys?
you doing, man?
Oh, tired, man. I just got home from doing my Christmas shopping. Just got home.
Oh, what'd you get me?
Secret, brother. Don't worry about it. I got you.
You could
And
have
I
said
got
not
you
a
too,
damn
bro.
thing.
I got you too, bro.
My man.
Daryl, what's up, baby? DZ, what's good? Tommy,
DZ, what
good?
you up to?
What's up, no.
Danny, how those double going?
Don't no hockey talk here, please. All right.
You sure?
So, guys, everyone, Alex, everyone.
Pleasure. What's up, Alex?
What's up?
Yamamoto yet?
Say what?
I was asking Danny if we signed Yamamoto yet.
No, they're saying that it
no.
might be after the New Year's.
Oh, come on.
After Christmas, yeah. He's at the Rams game.
Though, right?
He's at the
Yeah.
Rams game right now.
Oh, look at that.
They're dragging it. He's dragging it. He wants the publicity.
I'm gonna put a Raider mod in here.
On him, man.
What's going on, man?
The Giants
Yeah.
out on.
What's up?
And
Yo.
Raider Aaron.
Oh, there he is.
He finally.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, he finally changed the battery.
There you go.
He finally changed the battery.
Wait.
That was so. That was storm,
It
man.
better be an Energizer battery.
And it better be lithium too. Don't put that alkaline stuff in there. You got to make it
It
last
be-
as long as possible.
Hey, Sneaky, I got to bounce, dude.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. Oh, well, and this is perfect because Alex, just so you know, being a guest on the show doesn't matter what team you are on. You have to say the following, and please hit me one time.
Love you, brother. Guys,
Have a
pleasure.
good
as
night.
always.
Yeah.
Alex, great to meet you. Let's go, Giants. Ow.
I appreciate it.
Larry,
That's the outcome that outro that we all say. So right now we've reached the episcopus. Is that the word I'm looking for?
It's a new word. I never heard of that word.
Yeah, don't look it up.
Never
Don't
heard
ask
of
me
it
to spell it. Don't do none of that. Okay.
Spell it?
Of the show, episcopus. Okay. I know I'm saying it wrong. Ebonics. It's a bitch. Raider made. Raider mod. See, man. Ah, man. I'm sorry. I'm still tired. I'm still trying to heal from that drive from New Orleans. Give me your final thoughts, man. What you got?
Uh, it's coming down to the wire, dudes. It is. This is a tight race for playoff position. I'm hoping this week the Raiders could pull it off in Kansas City. It is a home game for Kansas.
Oh,
Their Swift may actually show up, sadly. Yamamoto is not going anywhere near New York. I'm sorry, guys. He is coming
He had to go
to the
there, didn't he?
Dodgers.
No. Disagree. No.
He had to go there.
No, he coming to the Bronx,
Sorry,
buddy.
Sneaky.
He's coming to the Bronx.
Danny
Nah,
You know what I'm saying, Alex?
hey, he's
Let him know,
coming to
Alex.
the original Bronx team, though. The Dodgers.
Oh my God. Y'all got Otani already, man. Y'all want to be greedy?
Oh, that's Brooklyn, sir. Not
So
the Bronx.
I gotta. Okay, I hope that I hope Aaron and Raider Mod don't get mad at me, but you guys are 6-8, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So you do got the Houston, Buffalo, Steelers, and the Broncos
yes,
all in front. So
Yes.
it's going to be
tiebreakers are bad.
now. But what's going on your side? I don't see it. I don't see the E next to your name, meaning eliminated. So there's still a chance.
Just like
No,
us,
there
baby.
is.
Just like us.
Still a chance, baby.
For us, it says that we have like 1.5 chance of still making it. I think if we pull this week off, our chances go up. Like I said, it is going to be tough. We are in Kansas, and supposedly it's going to be raining. We don't fare well in cold weather games.
It's going to be raining, yeah, because it's raining over here now.
If it rains all work. I don't know.
And ain't it raining in Arizona right now too?
Nope.
LA. In LA, yeah.
Oh, it's in LA. Okay. Yeah, I know y'all got some bad mudslides and everything.
Yep, right now, man.
Yeah,
well,
Yamamoto wants to go over there, bro. The mudslides.
You must pay them high ass taxes.
I'm telling you.
You guys need to
If
call.
he does come to the
But it's
Dodgers,
probably higher.
it's most
probably
likely
higher in New
because
York.
of his Japanese teammate. Let's all agree with that.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
Got money, man, so they'll pay whatever, bro, to bring them over here. That's the thing. But the Yankees play too, so you never know.
Yeah.
But Raider Mod, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on. Are you at work right now?
No, this is my week off. Just graduated from the academy.
Oh no shit! Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah! What academy did you?
A corrections officer.
Wow!
Nice.
Arizona State. The Arizona State Correctional.
It's actually for private prisons. It's through CCA. The company is called Core Civic.
Okay. Well, hey.
There we go.
We have private prisons all over the country, so I might get the chance to go to different private prisons. We do have a lot in Texas, the South. I think we have Rutgers as one of ours.
Well, hey, regardless, congratulations.
Hey, Raider Ball, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? If you see any Cowboy fans, pull them in solitary confinement for me. Thank you.
Man, I'm trying to throw them fucking Bronco fans in there too.
You can throw them in there all together. Hey man, congrats on that.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Best wishes to your future endeavors. Let me hear it one time, man.
Thank you for having me as always. Let's go Giants. Ow.
Appreciate you, fam. Aaron.
The Raiders. What's up, Sneaky?
What's your final thought?
You're happy now? You don't hear it no more?
I'll hear no more beats. Yes, no more. What's your final thought, man?
I mean, you guys should call Tom Coughlin, man. Call him up, see what he we can give you, the coach and all that. I saw.
Look at Alex shaking his head. He's like,
no.
That ship has sailed. That's like
Mm-hmm.
not. He was better than the coach I'm about to mention, but a lot of Jeff fans want Rex Ryan back. That's like that.
I heard
time
that.
is over.
Who?
Rex Ryan.
There's certain Jeff fans that want Rex Ryan back in
Yep.
the Meadowlands as their head coach.
You said Jets fans, right?
Yes, I'm not joking when I say that.
Okay. Wow.
The delusional leprechauns over there. Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead, Aaron. What's your? Give me a final thought, man. What you got?
Playoff run, man. It's gonna be weird, man. For the NFC, man. The AFC is like kind of like it's the same thing, but the NFC is stacked with a bunch of teams right now. I mean, make the play. The Rams are probably gonna make the play too. They look pretty good. I mean, they're not bad, but they can beat the Niners probably. I hope they do, but who knows?
The Rams? No.
Do you think the Broncos will make the playoffs?
I think they could do what you guys.
The Broncos? I mean, they're in the hunt.
That's a good one.
They're in the hunt.
I don't like the Rams, but I mean, you know, if they could do what you guys did to the Niners, bro, I'll be.
You got. So I'm looking at the AFC right now. The wild card race alone. You got the Browns at 9-5, and then you got 3 teams at 8-6. And then you have the
football season, man.
Steelers at 7-7, and then the Broncos at 7-7. So there's.
What are the Texans?
Texans.
Texans are at 8-6.
They're
It's just
still not.
too many losses in the AFC, man. So there's no way we could do a tiebreak. Probably with the Broncos, yeah, but we got to beat the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, you got to beat the Chiefs.
Mm-mm.
I doubt it though, man. I don't think so.
That's a big if. That's a big if.
They got a bunch of people over there who can't even catch the ball, so y'all got a chance.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But the thing is that knowing their quarterbacks, man, experience, man, is like not disciplined well. I mean, they are, but it's just like they have this moment where they just, it's the Chiefs, man. The last couple of years, they've just been just let it out, man. I mean, even that year we went to the playoffs, they still blow us out 40 to something.
Yeah.
You know, I got to say this about Joe Shane. People can say what they want. That trade he made for Tony is looking pretty good right now. Pretty good.
Yep.
Good. In Joe, we trust. Good job, Joe.
You got sneaker then Tom DeVito or Daniel Jones? Who's
Say
the
what?
guy? Who's the guy for you guys? DeVito or Jones?
Right now it's DeVito.
Can we trade Jones?
No, we can't. I don't. Yeah, no one will pick up his contract.
Yeah, physically impossible.
We can't
Nobody
sit on the bench though.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, another Galladay situation. I mean,
yeah, all you got to do is just say that. Okay, yeah, he's rehabbing his ACL and it's taking longer than usual,
and just sit him on the bench the whole year.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
What about your coach? The coach is still good, or
Dable's good. Yeah,
Dable's staying. I don't think we ever.
Dable and Shane, they ain't going nowhere. They
gonna give him 15 years.
Hopefully, we can get like a top receiver in the draft, like Malik Nabers or something like that.
No, I don't even want an offensive line through the draft. We need to go trade for some. That's what Gabe said.
I agree with Daryl.
Yeah. Get the offensive line through
the free agency. Yeah.
See, I'm okay with that too, but you got to develop players though. But
we've been developing offensive line for years.
There's an action that needs to be taking place before we do that.
Yeah, firing
Bobby Johnson got to go.
Bobby Johnson.
By the way, the Giants will have about $36 million in cap next year, and that's even before they cut Mark Lewinsky.
There'll be a few more cuts too, I believe.
Because the cap it expanded. It got $36 million.
Yeah, but do we even know if anybody wants to come to New York though?
You mean coach or come to New York?
Come to New York.
I mean, we're not
as long as we offer them enough money.
So
what'd you say, Alex?
No, I was saying. Well, I mean, we're not the Jets, so
Yeah, I think New York is a good market to go to. Look, I think the fact that fans got behind Tommy DeVito by just winning 3 games, I think that shows the loyalty of the Giant fans. And I mean,
He's looked better than Jones did all year.
yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to come to the Giants after? I'll tell you what, you win 3 games, they'll name a sandwich after you. I mean, what other town don't do that? Aaron, let me hear it one time, man.
You guys might get Derek Carr.
Like what?
You guys might get Derek Carr. You never know.
No.
No.
Oh God.
No.
All right, Sneaky. Good seeing you. Let's go Giants. Ow.
Appreciate you, fam. Be good. DZ, give me your final thoughts, man.
I don't. Giants they're just a confusing team right now. That's why I'm happy the Rangers exist, and of course the Yankees. I cannot wait for Juan Soto, Danny, to just bomb
Can't
after
wait.
bomb.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. But I mean, other than that, let's go Giants. Oh,
I appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
We will regain glory one day, fellas.
Loving that. There we go. Alex have the right hat on. That's right.
There we go. Daryl, yeah, man, it's your turn. Give me your final thoughts.
I believe we will, regain glory one day. Hopefully, next year or 2. I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna give it 2 more years, and then we'll be back in the hunt again, to where we're beating our division foes, them hoes, them Cowboys.
Cowboys and the Eagles.
We'll get there. We're gonna get there about 2 years. But like Alex said, we first need to address the elephant in the room. That would be Bobby Johnson. And when we do that, we'll be okay. And you know what time it is. New York Giants. Ow!
Appreciate you, fam. All right, Lloyd, what you got, man? Let me hear your final word.
Better luck next year for the Giants. Yeah, Tommy DeVito looks great. And yeah, I think we should fire Dable and hire Ben Johnson from the Lions.
Hot take right there. Oh my goodness.
I think he will transform our offense with Saquon Barkley.
All right.
And make us Super Bowl champions. Yep. And we play the Eagles on Christmas, and we're gonna win. We're gonna grab him by the fucking.
I didn't know what he was gonna go with, but I was just waiting for something.
Waiting for something. Yeah.
I was waiting for something. Lloyd, I don't know what you were gonna go there with, but I heard the F, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And it's not your fault, Lloyd. I'm just going off of past experience. Okay, and if I'm wrong in the assumption, I will apologize. I'm just saying.
You gotta be quick on the trigger, brother.
Yeah, I was just waiting for. I was like, okay, there's other people, Lloyd, that had that pause, and then they said something that they weren't supposed to. So, Alex, just so you know, and Lloyd is still backstage, so he can hear me what I'm saying. I had people in the past, and Lloyd, I'm not saying this is what you would do. I'm not saying that. But I had people that would say the N with the hard G at the end. And it's not cool, Lloyd, no offense. So first suspicion is if you're not one of the OGs, like say Ant and Gabe, Daryl, you're starting to be one of the OGs, people that I'm familiar with that don't show the video, the camera on, whatever. I do have a finger on the trigger, if you will. And I mean, there's some other people that come in the show. You always got to be prepared, Alex. Always got to be prepared. Danny, give me your final thoughts, man. Moving on.
All right, man. So yeah, hopefully on Christmas we get a W. Upset the Eagles. Number 2, fire Bobby Johnson. Number 3, fire Thomas. What's his name for the special teams coach? I forgot his name. Thomas something. McCafe.
Thomas McGahee.
Yes, he has to go too. He has to go too. So I mean, we just got to revamp those. Get those 2 people out of here. But I do see, like Daryl said, I say about another 2 years we'll be back to glory. We're back to the glory days. But we just got to keep hope alive. Stay faithful, like we all are. And yeah, Alex, nice meeting you, brother. Sneaky, have a good night. And everybody here, just Merry Christmas, everybody. If I don't say, if I don't talk to anybody, text anybody, have a Merry Christmas to all your families and enjoy it. And let's go Giants. Ow. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother. Alex, thank you so much for coming on, man. I hope you had fun. You didn't have to stay the full 2 hours. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. You could have been like, hey, I got to dip out. I wouldn't judge you. Okay, I'm lying. I would just a little bit. No, I'm kidding. I hope you had a good time. Give me your final word, man. It's your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you coming on. You invited me on. I obviously discussing some stuff with other Giant fans, and I thought I was doing my shift today, and obviously I was reading the text from you, and I was replying and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of there is sometimes underlying beef in the Giants content community. Some people don't like this guy, some people don't like that guy, and all these other different things, right? But everyone loves SneakyG. Everyone loves SneakyG. He's just that type of guy. On camera he is him, and even in person, as we've met twice. I think it was last year's Fan Fest, and the year before that it was the Giants Eagles game. The last time the Giants beat the Eagles, so that's history. But yeah, I mean, obviously having the discussion, having the debate, yeah, and I appreciate it. And just a selfish plug here. We are 7 subscribers away from 1.7K on YouTube over on my channel, Big Blue in the Bronx. So if you like Giants content, Yankees content, and all that, also and fun stuff too, go hit the subscribe button. But most of all, I appreciate SneakyG for having me on. He's always cool and stuff like that. And appreciate you having me on. Let's go Giants. Ow!
I appreciate you. And you're getting another subscriber from right here. I'm gonna look you up right after the show, and you got another one on YouTube. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Everybody, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Just an all-out great show. Great conversation. I want to thank Alex for coming on short notice. Normally I ask people a week in advance, and he wanted to come on. And Lloyd, thanks for coming on. Sorry I didn't let you get the outro. Just had to be prepared, just for obvious reasons. But everyone that came out and came on, I want to thank you guys for doing so. I may do a show next week. I may not. It's Christmas. I don't know what we're doing yet, so it's to be determined. And I do gotta say one last thing, and it pains me to say this. I don't think I'll be going to the Giants home game the end of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately. It says TB, that says TBD, and I'm like, I need to know so I can make plans. But I'll be using my leave and stuff next week, and it doesn't look good for the home team, figuratively speaking. So, and I'm almost at my time right now. I want to thank everybody for joining, being a part of the show, coming on, having a friendly conversation. Guys, Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you all next week, have a very happy start of the new year. Make someone smile. Always be better than you were the day before. Enjoy the moments that you guys have with your family this year. And let's go, Giants.
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. SneakyG.
Yeah. Lyrical assassin.
Let's go, Giants.